Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Norman Patterson, and I'm an abortion abolitionist. If you remember, back in Connecticut, there were abolitionists like Harriet Beecher Stowe. Well, I'm an abolitionist for abortion, calling for the 100% and abolishment of abortion without compromise, without excuse, because abortion is the greatest evil that we have in our land. In the state of Connecticut, we have the right to legally slaughter little innocent human beings in the womb. And so many people will try to tell you that these are not human beings, but of course they are. What else are they? In the womb, these are alive. If they weren't alive, why would you have to kill them? Why would you have to terminate them, whatever word that you want to have or use? And what kind of life is it? It's a human life. So when you take the life of an innocent baby in the womb, you are committing the sin of murder. And the Bible's very clear in the law of God. It says, "Thou shalt not murder." To murder means taking the life of an innocent human being who has done no wrong, does not deserve a capital punishment of having his or her life taken from him or her. You see, when people violate God's law and state law that is in conformity with the Bible, sometimes the state executes them because they have committed a capital crime. But I ask you, what is a capital crime about being alive in a woman's womb? Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, the wind's really picking up. Thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. Amen. Y'all evangelizing. Wonderful. You see, God's law is built upon the character of God. And the Bible tells us that God, the God of the Bible, is a holy God, and the law of God is a reflection of His holiness. Isaiah chapter 6 tells us that God is holy, holy, holy. 3 times we're told that God is holy. And the law of God is a reflection or an extension of the person and being of God. So that when the Bible tells us the 10 Commandments, fighting the wind today. When the Bible tells us the 10 Commandments, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother, thou shalt not murder," thou shalt, Commandment 6, "Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, and thou shalt not lie, and thou shalt not covet." That's the law of God, and it reflects the holiness of God. In the United States of America, most of the time, most of the laws, you would get in trouble, but in the United States of America, you can kill an unborn baby in the womb, legally speaking, and no, there are no consequences whatsoever. Could you imagine going around and being able to kill human beings without any consequences whatsoever? That's what happened in Nazi Germany with the relativistic philosophy that came out of Friedrich Nietzsche, that came out of an evolutionary point of view. Adolf Hitler, they believed it was okay to slaughter innocent human beings, the Jews. And now all over the world, there's a belief that you could just take human life at will. But the reason we cannot take human life at will is because there's a God at the center of this universe that says, thou shalt not murder. And the Bible tells us that we are to be the voice of those who have no voice. We're to be the voice for those human beings who have no voice. You see, babies in the womb, nobody can cry out for them, but they can't cry out for themselves, so somebody has to cry out for them. And that's what I'm doing here today, crying out for the lives of innocent human beings. In the state of Connecticut, you have the legal right to slaughter human beings. But I tell you, the law of God does not allow for or permit anybody to take the life of another innocent human being. And so as an abolitionist, as an abortion abolitionist, what I'm calling for and what we are calling for is equal justice and equal protection under the law. Equal justice and equal protection for all human beings under the law. Doesn't matter the color of their skin. Doesn't matter how old they are. Doesn't matter where they were born, whether it's in the United States or some other place. Doesn't matter their location, being in a womb or out of the womb. We don't have the right to take the life of innocent human beings. And here in the state of Connecticut, it is legal, it is lawful, according to the state, to take the lives of innocent human beings. In other words, you can kill innocent human beings in the state of Connecticut without there being any consequences. I tell you, there are eternal consequences. God bless you, sir. Thank you. There are eternal consequences. And as an abolitionist, I'm calling for equal justice under the law. Equal justice and equal protection. What's so hard about that? What's so difficult to understand about equal justice and equal protection for all human beings under the law? That's what you want for yourself. So the Bible tells us, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if you want equal protection and equal justice under the law of God, then why not advocate for equal protection and equal justice for babies inside of the womb?